Long ago in ancient Macedonia, a young prince named Alexander was raised not merely as a future king but as a warrior destined for greatness. The story of how Alexander became the world's most renowned conqueror starts with the careful molding, or some might say, brainwashing, of his mind, ambitions, and vision from an early age. Alexander's father, King Philip II, was a powerful ruler and an accomplished general. From the beginning, Philip had big plans for his son, and he ensured Alexander's childhood would be different from that of an average royal child. Instead of a life of leisure, Alexander's early years were filled with intense lessons in warfare, strategy, and philosophy. His father brought in one of the most famous philosophers of the time, Aristotle, to be his tutor. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander learned about literature, science, and the nature of the world, but more importantly, he was taught to see himself as something greater than just a prince. Aristotle fed him stories of heroism from Greek mythology, tales of Achilles and Hercules, painting a picture of Alexander as a figure who could change the world. Philip made sure that Alexander's life was a continuous test of strength, endurance, and courage. He placed Alexander in charge of military campaigns at a young age, putting him directly on the battlefield. This wasn't just training, it was the first step in making him believe he was invincible. Alexander faced danger head-on, and through each victory, his belief in his destiny grew. But it was no accident. Philip controlled what Alexander saw and heard, continuously surrounding him with those who reinforced the notion that he was born for greatness. Stories of his lineage were used to deepen this belief. He was told he was a descendant of gods, specifically Zeus, the king of the Greek gods, and Hercules, the ultimate hero. These legends weren't just folklore to Alexander, they were a family legacy. He was taught that achieving greatness was not just a choice but his birthright, a responsibility he had to fulfill. This belief in his divine lineage became a driving force behind his ambition to conquer far beyond Macedonia's borders. When Philip died and Alexander became king, he was primed and ready to take on the world. His early training, the constant exposure to tales of heroism, and his rigorous military upbringing had shaped him into someone who believed that nothing could stand in his way. But there was one more piece of the puzzle: his army and the people around him had been conditioned to see him as something greater than a mortal. He wasn't just their king, he was their hero and, in many ways, a living god. His soldiers were fiercely loyal, prepared to follow him to the ends of the earth because they believed in his legend as much as he did. Every campaign he launched, every battle he won, seemed to reaffirm that legend. Alexander the Great went on to conquer the Persian Empire, Egypt, and parts of India, territories beyond what most people in his time could even imagine. And through it all, he remained convinced of his greatness, a conviction forged by the powerful influences of his father, his mentor, and the mythology surrounding him. Alexander's legacy, then, is not only one of conquest but also a tale of how carefully crafted beliefs and relentless ambition can transform a person into a living legend. His story serves as a powerful reminder of how a leader's vision, whether shaped by others or by themselves, can change the course of history.